It's bright. It's bright. What's up, y'all? What's up? Welcome back to another Biz Buzz Live. I'm your host, Chris Muzan. Hey, today we're going to talk a little bit about, for all of you that are disgruntled, a little dissatisfied, a little down. It's another D word for my alliteration. I don't know. Discouraged. There we go. A little discouraged at your job. I'm going to tell you why today. Get prepared. Why you should quit your job. This is why you should quit your job. Stick around today. We're going to talk about it. All right, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of BizBuzz Live. Again, I'm your host, Chris Muzan, your financial coach, taking you through all things money. Hope everybody's having a great Friday. It's Friday, August the 22nd. Man, the month is almost over. And the summer is almost winding down. Man, so much is happening. But we're always here to have these conversations around you and around your cash flow. Again, I hope this continues to bring you value. Thank you for everybody that's messaged me or left a comment or engaged in some sort. I'm getting a few DMs here and there of some of the conversations that we're talking about. Even over on YouTube, lots of comments, people paying attention, because these are important conversations. These conversations around your cash flow. Remember, the reason why we started this show, ladies and gentlemen, is because inevitably, through coaching people financially and helping people strategize their financial life, whether we talk about insurance or we're talking about their debt or we're talking about their estate plan, inevitably it comes back to a cash flow conversation. What's coming in and what's going out? In what ways are we making money and how are we spending it, investing it, all those types of things, right? My chair keeps falling. I got to get a new chair. Somebody give me a new chair. I need a new chair. Anyway, so when we have these conversations around cash flow, again, the financial industry, I believe, has done a pretty good job of budgeting and tracking and expenses. You got, your QuickBooks and your Rocket Monies and all the things and your tillers and all the different types of programs that will allow you to go in and make sure that you are keeping or being able to track more of the money that you're making and keeping more of it. But the other side of the equation is, how do we continue to earn income? How do we put ourselves in a position to make more money? How do we put ourselves in a position to continue to grow our top line? If we learn how to keep our expenses low, but our income also stays stagnant, well, by nature, because of inflation and all the other things, cost of living is going to go up. Your expenses go up. Even if it's minimally, it continues to go up. Food costs, right? Groceries and all the stuff go up. So your ability to learn how to continue to earn money is going to be crucial to your financial success. Your ability to learn how to go in, bring in more income, whether you choose to get a second, third, or fourth job. That's right. That is a way to go about it. Whether you learn the corporate America game and you bounce from place to place, whether you just determine that you just want a little side business, you want to be a little self-employed, be a little consultant or something like that on the side and make some side income, whether you want to be a part of the gig economy and walk people's dogs and drive Uber and do, DoorDash, if that's the way you want to do it. Or maybe you're a business person. You're like, I believe I can start a business. I don't know what that industry would be, but I believe I could start a business and let that be the thing that gets me to the income levels that I need over time. Regardless of which way you choose to look at it, you have to figure out this plan. You have to figure out this plan of how you are going to create and continue to earn income. Okay. And because of that, right, and because we have to continue to think about how to earn income and how to bring in more money, you guys got to make sure that you have nothing standing in your way of doing that. One of the things that I see by coaching a ton of people is their job is actually standing in the way of them getting to the life they want financially. I know a lot of people think that their job is supporting them in getting to where they want to go financially, but it's normally not. It's normally not. From the majority of people that I sit down with that want to make a shift, there's some people that are just very comfortable and kind of content with where they are. But for people that, again, a little dissatisfied, a little disgruntled, a little right, a little discouraged, a little down. Those are the D words, right? If you're just a little bit like, I know there's a little bit more. I want a little bit more. I'm not feeling all that I want to feel in life from a financial standpoint, from a fulfillment standpoint. I know that I need to make a change. What change should I be making? Normally, those people have an issue at their job. And today I'm going to highlight a couple of those issues for you as to the reasons why it's going to make sense to start to think about, right? Start to think about quitting your job, right? Quitting your job. I think that part's important. Let me see if I can pull this up for you real quick. Let's dive in, share this screen window. All right. Give me a second, y'all. I'm gonna dive in because there's a couple things I want to go through, but I wanted to show it to you visually on the screen. So just give me a second here, and I'm gonna make sure that you guys can get this information. If I upload this really quick. By the way, how's everybody's day? Hope your day's going well. Hope this Friday is treating you well. As always, again, you putting yourself, this chair is really annoying, but you putting yourself in a position to continue to focus on your money, focus on growing your income. Drop questions down in the chat if you have questions, if there's something that doesn't make sense or something you're trying to work through, right? Something you're trying to work through when it comes to your financial situation. Let me know. Drop those questions in the chat. A lot of this stuff about earning more income, about bringing in more income is new information to us, right? This is not stuff that we inherently just know or understand. And so we have to learn. We have to learn how to do these things. We have to learn how to put ourselves in a position to make money in corporate America and how to bounce around, get new sources of income, all of those types of things. But either way, drop some comments in the chat for me while this loads up. And as it loads up, I'll be able to show you the 10 reasons or the 10 signs that have been glaring at you as to why you should be quitting your job. Let's take a look. Here's a couple of them. First, your health is taking a hit. Your health is taking a hit. You know this. For those of you, like I said, that are down, disgruntled, distressed, disturbed. I don't know why I'm on my D thing today, but pause. But either way, if that's you, you know your health is taking a hit. Chronic stress and burnout, right? In this APA's 2024 Work in America and the U.S. Surgeon General's Workplace Well-Being Framework both flag sustained stress and lack of psychological safety as exit level risks, right? So at the end of the day, understanding that that doesn't even make sense. Exit level risk. I'm guessing this is this is saying that like you know that your health is taking a hit. You know your health is taking a hit. And so you have to make sure that you're protecting yourself. Stress and burnout are real, and it's causing you to not have the energy you need to go after your ideal life, put the energy into something different. So that's the reason why some of you should be thinking about quitting your job. Here's another one. You dread Mondays. I know today's Friday. Some of you look too forward to today. You look forward to Fridays so much. Why? Because now you get a day off. So you don't have to have the stress and the burnout and all the stuff. But then you dread Monday. Then Sunday night comes around and you're like, ugh. If that's your life, listen closely. If that's your life, you might need to think about quitting your job. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 7 days out of the week. If you are a person that dreads 5 days and only likes 2 days, what kind of life would you want to live? Like, is that the type of life you would want to live? that you only like 2 days out of the week. You only like Friday and Saturday, or Saturday and Sunday morning. Like, those are the only days you like. And then Monday through Friday, you are dreading your life. Is that the life you want to live? Do you think that's the life that's going to get you financially free and happy and fulfilled and all this stuff? No. But it says US engagement fell to a 10-year low. If you're stuck in why am I even here mode longer than a quarter, it's a sign to you might need to get out of there. Have you said that to yourself before? Why am I even here? Have you said that? I'm talking to you. Have you said that? Have you said, why am I even here? Why am I even at this job? Why am I even doing this? It's a sign you might need to move on. All right. Third thing here, pay is stagnant. You know, pay is stagnant, and most of it is below market. You haven't gotten a raise in a while. And if you did, it was very minimal. Half of workers, we talked about this maybe a few months ago, half of workers aren't highly satisfied with their pay. Like, there's a large group of people in all different demographics, Gen Z, Gen X, boomers, millennials, all the stuff, that aren't satisfied with the money that they're making. Well, why stay at a place if you're not satisfied with the money that you're making? Another sign you might need to quit. Fourth thing, your values and the culture of your organization don't match. Your values and the culture don't match. Maybe there's some disrespect. Maybe there's some favoritism. Maybe there's some corporate politics. Maybe there's some things that you just keep complaining about over and over again. That's just a mix in values and culture of the company. So you should probably leave. Don't subject yourself to that just for a paycheck. Is that what you're subjecting yourself to? Disrespect. It's another D word, right? Or is that why you subject yourself to it? Because it pays your bills? Maybe it's time to think about getting another job. You should quit where you are if your values don't align. I know I just talked about the fact that the job market's not well. The job market's not doing well. Corporate America's not doing well. But it's no need to stick around if it compromises your values. Money's not more important than your values. Remember that. Fifth thing, forced workplace model clashes with your life. Again, you having to go into work. Maybe you were one of the people in the last 3-4 years that had the privilege of working from home. Life was a little bit easier to manage. You could see your kids a little bit more. Dinners got made a little bit more regularly, whatever. Your time management was good, but then they forced you to go back into the office. Now you're taking a 45-minute drive to and from. Now you have to deal with office politics. Now you got to pay for gas and babysitting and all this stuff. So because they forced that model, maybe that model's not for you. Maybe you should quit. Maybe you should leave your job, right? That might be something you want to think about. If the policy fights your reality, it's a sign that you should probably leave. Now, let me just say this and make this this kind of caveat. It's going to be very hard to find your perfect ideal job or perfect ideal situation right away. Doesn't mean that you leave this and the next thing you do is the perfect thing. It just means you're willing to not have these things be the reason why you are getting sick, why you're tired, why you're angry, why you're stressed, why you're depressed, why you only like 2 days out of the week. Like, if these are the reasons, then just find something new. You're not a tree. You can change. Sure, it's going to come with life changes, and most people don't like change. There's some of you listening right now that when I talk to you about why you should quit, immediately you get resistance. Immediately there's resistance. Why? Just because it's change. Just because it's change. Well, what would I do? Well, how much money? Well, how would I do that? Right? You're just uncomfortable with change, and that's okay. But if you want to continue to figure out how to earn money, live the life you need to, right? All those types of things, you have to be willing to change. You have to bet on you. You have to know that, like, even if I do make a change, if I leave this toxic corporate structure and move to something less toxic, I will be fine. I will figure it out. So you got to know, if you're having these clashes, might be time to think about moving. Your growth is flatlined. Here's number 6. Your growth is flatlined. There's no more growth at that company. It says 2/3 of professionals report feeling stuck. Opportunities ratings are trending down. If you can't get stretch work, mentorship, or skill growth, move. If this place is not growing you, if you are not getting mentorship, if you're not picking up new skill sets, if you're not able to move up, if your growth has flatlined there, then why are you there? There's a saying that says, if you're not growing, you're dying. So if you are not growing at your job, then you are slowly sliding backwards, meaning you are getting more disgruntled, more down, more depressed, more of all the things, more dissatisfied. All the D words today. That's what's happening. So pay attention. If your growth is flatlined, might be time to fly the coop. The infinite workday is eating your life. I know so many people that work bleeds into mornings, nights, weekends. I've had some conversations with some people on my team about this type of stuff. And I'm like, hey, how much do they pay you for? Like, especially if you're salaried, those of you that are in management, middle management, supervisory positions, you're salaried. You're salaried. Like, I was once salaried, so I understand. The reason why you step into that role is because you have more responsibility, right? You're a good worker, like whatever the reasons are. But at the end of the day, if they pay you for 55 hours a week, why are you working 70? If they say, hey, you're done, like you have no more responsibilities after 7 p.m., then why are you still on your computer at 8:30? Why are you still taking that phone call when it's your day off? The infinite workday could be eating away at the rest of your life. If that is what's happening to you and you're feeling it, it might be a sign you should leave that job or take a lesser role with lesser responsibility. This is what causes the first slide that we talked about, which is the burnout, the stress, the things never slowing down. It's always something that you have to be aware of with your job or with your boss or whatever the case is. This is what causes you to love Fridays. Like, oh, I can't wait till Friday. This is what causes you to love when it's almost time for your vacation. This is what causes, like, I say this on my morning mindset calls that I host every Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning. You can find them here on YouTube afterwards. But I forgot the point that I was making. That's what happens when you got a lot going on in the brain. Anyway, infinite workday could be eating your life. Could be taking away the rest of your life, the stress, all those types of things. You got to pay attention to it. Anyway, number 8, your industry, company, and pay bumps and advancement, all this stuff has stalled. Again, you're not growing. You're not getting pay bumps. Your organization has frozen promotions, right? No one's getting more out of the job. Maybe it's time to think about switching jobs. Maybe it's time to start thinking about not being at that place of work. Plan your exit strategy. Plan your exit strategy. That's the key, right? If you plan your exit strategy, again, good things will start happening, y'all. Number 9, you've raised issues, but nothing changes. You've raised issues, but nothing changes. How many of you have raised issues with your boss, with your HR, with your supervisor, with whomever, and nothing changes? Nothing changes. Glassdoor notes falling confidence in leadership transparency. If you tried to fix it and leadership dodges, they say, oh, maybe, or we'll get back to you, or nothing changes. Might be a sign you should quit your job. Might be a sign you should quit. Here's the last one. You already have runway or you have a better path lined up. It says the Fed data show that 9% quit and 14% started new jobs. So maybe you don't leap out without a plan or a cushion, but if you have a runway, if you've done what I've been teaching you, which is you need 3 to 6, if not 6 to 12 months, 6 to 12 months worth of emergency fund savings, worth of runway, if you've done your job financially to put away, save more money, not in your 401k, not investment money, savings. If you've done that, then you have runway to go find something new. If you've done what I've been coaching you on or teaching you, and if you haven't, let's meet, let's have a conversation, because this is what will help you get out of your job. If you have 6 to 12 months of your income, not just your expenses, income set aside that you just have for emergency, you can quit your job because you've given yourself 6 to 12 months to figure it out. Most times people aren't quitting because they don't have a runway. They don't have anything better. They don't have a cushion. They're living check to check. They're already in debt. So like it makes the decision even more difficult. But all the things that I just shared with you, if these are things that are happening to you, if you're seeing these signs in your own life, in your own job, in your own work, you don't like Mondays, you only look forward to Friday, you're getting overly stressed out, you got this infinite day that you work all the hours whenever they need you, whatever time, right? Off the clock, on the clock, whatever. If there's no advancement, you're not growing, these are signs you should do something different. That's it. These are signs you should do something different. These are signs that it might be time to make a shift in how you are earning money. That's what I want to impress upon you today is I know it might be scary. I know it might be something that you're not used to. I know you might not like change. I understand that you don't even have a plan set up. I get all those things. And just know, as you start thinking about this stuff, if you actually take it seriously, like maybe I should leave my job. Like maybe I should. And then you start asking yourself questions like, well, what would I do? How would this work? Instead of backing down from the fear of like having to think about what changes would happen, start thinking about what you want to make happen. If you're at a place with no growth, then maybe you're looking for growth. Maybe you're looking for mentorship. Well, that's a good idea. If you're at a place where you dread Mondays because you have to now go back into work, well, maybe you should start creating that list of things you actually like doing. In 2025, you can make a living doing things you like. Not everyone gets to do that, but the more you think about it, the more you can start figuring that side out. So you don't have to only look forward to 2 days out of the week. What's a life where you only look forward to 2/7? What's that? Like a third, almost like a third of your life. Like that's all you look forward to is a third of it. The rest of it, like you kind of don't look forward to at all. It's not how we get to the place we want to go. And I want to help you get there. Again, these financial conversations, y'all, often come back to kind of mindset things, thoughts, habits, the way we operate in life, how we think about life. If you change your thinking, you change your life, right? And so if we can change how we think about our job, if we can change how we think about income, if we can change how we think about earning income and what that means, if we can just change how we think about it, we'll get a different result. If we keep thinking about life the same way, we'll be in the same spot. There's nothing that will change because you think about it the same way. You're the same person. Albert Einstein says, a problem can't be solved at the same level of consciousness it was created. So if you created this problem for yourself and you're at the same level of consciousness, you can't solve your own problem. As much as you think you can, you can't. You need new information, coaching, mentoring, people that you listen to that show you your blind spots, that point out where you got some stinking thinking, some people to point out where you can be like, you know what? Does that thought serve you for where you want to go? Or is that just a thought that you've had? And having people to challenge you in those things will help you get to a better life. But just know Pay attention. You might need to quit your job. You might need to quit your job. If you want to have a conversation about it, reach out. Let's have a conversation about it. You can DM me. You can shoot me a message. You can tell me I'm completely off base and be like, I would never quit my job. Like, what am I supposed to do? But if you're open to like understanding that you need to change or you want to change or something isn't feeling right for you, you're getting that dissatisfaction, that disgruntledness, right? You're getting those things. Let's have a conversation about what we can do to make it better. All right. All right, y'all. Every single Friday. Appreciate y'all for checking in here on LinkedIn and on YouTube. We'll be back next Friday for another episode of BizBuzz Live. Until next time, peace.